Alright, so we're several days into this fun project now, and I've finally got all the wire harnesses put back together, all the bus bars hooked up, all the fuses installed. I've got an external power supply right here that's going to be driving the show here. You see I got it hooked up to where the battery would go. And inside, I've got the steering wheel, since we need that, the steering column to turn the stuff on. And I've got the key right there, and we're gonna see if she's gonna pop on. And she is. And she has 33 kilometers, which is 20 miles, with a lifetime of 6.8. I know we've seen this before in a different car, but now it's actually running inside of the cutaway, and you can see I've got the EPDM covering I mentioned I was going to installed, and we've got Peter's OBD2 CNC. We've got some error codes that surprisingly went away, I guess. 1542. There's the fan on for some reason. The DC-DC is obviously low. Our power supply is still sourcing the 12 volts this car is running on. But hey, the IMA fan worked. No idea why it came on. But hasn't caught on fire, so this is good. We need gas. So, and I've never seen the daytime running light. But yeah, we've got ABS issues, because that's gonna need a little work. We've got no idea what that symbol there is. Never seen it. SRS. I don't have the airbags plugged in because I'm not really ready to set them off. But yeah, hey, what do you know? It's good enough. And look, we're actually getting data from I guess at least the MCM is responding, and ELD, so the ECM is also responding. So this is the disaster, which is wiring the harnesses back together. I doubt it was worth it from a financial or whatever standpoint, but it was actually, I really enjoyed it. It was meditation of sorts for where my life is right now, I guess. So anywho, just wanted to kind of document. I'm glad nothing is caught on fire. We're pulling the 6 amps that the Insight typically is going to pull with the key on. Yeah, so now it's just a matter of putting it back together. And the haul I got from that poor car that we hacked up here. This is the dashboard out of it. Let's see if we can get the VIN on it. Let's see if this is anyone's car. It is 13791T001654. So that's I guess that's a 2001, number 1654. These rivets are the old style rivets. So maybe I'm off. Maybe that's a 2000. Don't actually know. Not that important. But some key things we got a nice new instrument panel. It looks like it's in rough shape, but really it's just never been cleaned, and it has stickers all over it. But actually it's going to clean up pretty nice. And I might swap that for the one that was in the cutaway, because the one that's in the cutaway is actually not very good shape. It got pretty scratched up. But I agree with the hypothesis that people were allowed to sit inside of this car. Got ourselves a gas pedal, since this car had no gas pedal. A little rusty, but we'll take care of that, no problem. Got ourselves the high pressure line. The welders managed to mess up the HVAC high pressure line. Unfortunately, the mirror in the car is in bad shape, and the mirror in the one I looked at was non-existent. So we didn't get a good rear view mirror yet. That's okay. I've got the rust cleaned off of the metal bar on the passenger side here. I'm going to spray paint this silver. It's not how it was. It had been tactfully taped with duct tape where it was visible. And I just think that was pretty trashy or whatever. We also got the cable, the cable that goes to the throttle body, since this is a cable-driven car. That was cut as well, in addition to the missing gas pedal. Didn't get the antenna for the radio. I did manage to score a wheel that's in really good shape. The hubcap's not, but the wheel itself will clean up very nicely, which is crazy. It is a 240,000 mile car with 10-year-old non-RE92 tires, and somehow the owner managed to not get that thing curb rashed everywhere. Other stuff, I don't actually even know. It's a bit late. I'm a little spacey, but I did want to get this video posted of the car, hopefully not catching on fire, which it hasn't, so that's good. But yeah, we got, it looks like, seems like everything might be wired correctly, which is great. It ended up being, I want to say almost 400 splices. You know, why I didn't just replace all the wire harnesses. I think part of the neatness of this car is that it was hacked apart and now it's getting kind of hacked back together. You can see our splices in the wire harnesses. I mean, even back here, I've already put that back together, but it was even cut back there. Like, pretty much all of the wire harnesses were cut. But it's just kind of neat to look and just see the number of splices in all of these harnesses. A lot of them are kind of hidden right now, but you can see there's a big splice linkage there. The whole backside of the fuse panel is linked together. And I've still got a few areas here with the pink flagging tape where the sensor's either missing or whatnot, but all of the stuff that's remaining that's missing is for the HVAC climate control, which this car does not have. So it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm sure it will throw a code or whatever on that, but I know I can bypass any code that it might want to throw at me. But yeah, it's fun. I am enjoying that. It's been a good mental break. I've been pretty stressed the last several years, and this has really been the first break that I've taken in a while. One thing that was on here since I got it is this damage to the door here. I don't think it was in Natalia's pictures, but definitely, like, when John and I loaded this up, John Miner and I loaded this up, that was on there. So maybe it was done in damage, maybe it was done while the car sat for a year, who knows. End of the day, whatever. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of work. I've actually learned a lot about just all kinds of stuff on the car. I'd never really messed around in the firewall. I'd never really fully inspected the schematic well enough to actually solder all the wires back together. So, anywho, it's been fun. The headlights probably work, or the single headlight probably works. Let's see. There's the parking lights. I guess those are already on because it's a Canadian car. Oh, I don't have them plugged in. So anyway, we'll test that stuff later because this is just kind of the bare minimum. You see 90% of the connectors aren't even plugged in. It could be fun to see if the radio will plug in and play through the one speaker, and that's something that I can do fairly easily. But yeah, no, all the parts are cleaned up. Got a tail light. That was another piece I got out of that car. Headlight that's in pretty rough shape. I'm going to sand it down. It doesn't really matter. I only need it to pass the Tennessee inspection. Let's see. There's the radio. Sorry, I'm kind of spacing out. And I also got a SRS coil for the steering wheel. Just all kinds of little things. I got the cap that was missing for the relays. It's not in great shape, but it's better than not having anything at all. I basically just went and that car, it's really unfortunate. The car that got scrapped out could have easily been salvaged had the owner not realized, or had the owner known that they could just bypass the battery. The IMA battery was dead, and it was, it had rats that had lived in it. Let's plug the radio in just for the fun of it. And apologies, I don't have a tripod. Okay. We got a radio. Doesn't work. So, something to figure out. Maybe a connector's unplugged. Maybe the fuse is blown. Maybe a lot of things. Obviously, I'm not going to keep troubleshooting this right now. I'm gonna just take take this all back out, put the interior back in, and make sure it all works there. Because right now it's pretty hard to follow the rat's nest. A little bummed the radio didn't immediately come on, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. There might, I don't know, maybe there's a second radio connector. I think there's only the one, but I think the second one's for the CD player. Anywho, yeah, that's the cutaway. Circa 2020. It's been a few years, but so yeah, I got you know, after sitting here, I've got a 1523. No idea what that is. 1542. No idea what that is. Kind of like in Top Gun, where if this car only knew, is it Top Gun? The parody, Naked Gun. I think it's Naked Gun, where he's like, yeah, the left wing's missing, the right wing's missing the, you know, everything. This car would give up its own ghost if it knew the state that it was actually running in. I was just excited to get the actual odometer mileage showing up on the car itself. So cool. Neat to see there's no gas in it. I don't know whether or not that's true, but I think the fuel gauge is hooked up at this point. Again, it's a rat's nest. We'll figure it out. Hopefully the next post is with the interior reinstalled, and then onwards to the engine. Engine doesn't, you know, it seems fine. Haven't taken the spark plugs out yet, but I am going to try and turn the crank and just see how it goes. But yeah, it's coming along. I've got a few more days before I start working on something else, and so hopefully I can get this far enough along before then to at least reclaim the 2 parking spaces that I'm currently taking up in this garage. But yeah, it's cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really what I need right now. So it's cool. It's good. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening to me babble for 12 minutes. It's kind of what I do. Have a good night.